Hello and welcome back to the tutorial for Civ 5. We've been doing fairly well now. We're continuing going on and just doing our thing. I would hazard to say at this point that we are snowballing out of control compared to the other civs. I mean, we've got 3 cities that are all above 10. And I mean, we've got 3 cities here that are bigger than some of these other civs' capitals. And then our capital is just insane. At this point, we've pretty much got this in the bag. I mean, apart from maybe everyone in the game dogpiling us, I mean, we don't have the strongest military, but we could build one. So I'm not particularly worried about anything terrible of that nature happening. We're pretty secure now to just keep going on to victory. Okay, we probably want production in this city, so this will give us production from the cattle, which will be alright. Keep putting mines down here. There's a good chance when we get to the industrial area that one of these hills will have something like coal or aluminum on them. So, alright, since we've gotten into the Renaissance era, we can actually adopt rationalism, which is what I'm going to do right away. Rationalism is possibly the best policy tree in the entire game, because it gives you bonuses to your science. And science is going to help you in pretty much every victory that you're going to go for. Even going like a cultural victory, you're still going to need science. Okay. Keep putting farms. I'm starting to improve all the tiles that I want, so I'm actually going to get rid of one of these workers. That might not be the best decision, but I'm going to go ahead and do it. Saves me from paying maintenance on them. Okay, another great profit. This guy we can actually use to spread our religion around, because it doesn't seem to have taken hold in our expansions. So we'll go ahead and spread it to our other cities. Okay. Now up here, I'm probably going to build an artist guild. Because this city's growing extremely quickly and running out of tiles to work. So having some specialists to put people in, not a bad idea. Alright, put a university there. Gonna get the Leaning Tower of Pisa next turn, hopefully. Start building trading posts. Now, you can't build trading posts on bananas. You can build plantations on them, but then you lose the science from university. So, it's almost never actually... You do get extra food for putting a plantation on it, but it's almost never worth doing that. So we can pick a great person now. If I hadn't gotten a religion, a great prophet would be good. If I was going for a specific wonder, a great engineer would be good. But apart from that, the default kind of great scientist is always going to be an alright choice. So I'm going to probably put an academy probably here. You don't want to put it next to a river, because if you put an academy next to a river, then you're basically losing out on a farm, and you get farms after you get civil service. Farms get bonus for being along rivers. So you don't want this to be along rivers, so that you can have the maximum amount of farms. Circus Maximus, since we have a Coliseum in all our cities, you can build that. That's 5 happiness. That'll be good. We can probably set this back up to purchase pagodas. We could be trading the other civs for luxury resources, but in a multiplayer game, that's probably what you would do, but I'm not really going to bother with it, probably. Do I want it on the flat one or the hill? Probably on the hill. Go ahead and start working it before I plant it down. Keep farming up everything. Alright, we've got one excess population to put into a university. Here we don't actually have a university yet, so I can put a couple in those tiles. And then over here, I could put a couple in the university, I guess. I did finish that farm, yeah. So we're getting quite a bit of science now. We're getting over 200. So we're probably getting quite the tech lead. Here I'm going to build a market. More mines on these hills. You can go to Boston. Check and make sure none of our neighbors have a big military. It would appear that they don't. Probably want to build a bank here. This is kind of the point in the game where you run out of... a lot of the time you just run out of things to build. It probably wouldn't be a bad idea to build some military units. Now this city's still kind of lagging behind in things to build. Build a stable. You have gotten over there. So we got one more spread religion use. I might just use it on one of these city-states to kind of reduce pressure against my own cities.
No.
I probably am going to build some military units. We're starting to get tech stolen from us. So I'm actually going to put a spy in my capital. Although the fact that they're stealing masonry and philosophy just shows, like, it just shows how far behind they are. I mean, that's pretty unbelievable, to be honest. Okay. Starting to run out of tiles to work here. Once you get to this point in the game, a lot of your extra population is going to be going towards specialists rather than tiles. So it's getting to the point where improving tiles is becoming less relevant, becoming less important. Still got 3 workers. I might delete one of them. I probably want to keep one around until like the atomic era or something, just to improve any future resources like oil, uranium that I might have. But other than that, I think the age of the worker is coming to an end. Could probably upgrade some of our units, actually. We have a lot of older military units. We have a decent bit of gold. I might just do that. You can just hit the U key to upgrade your units. They have to be in your territory, though. So I can just go through and fix my military. Probably going to keep building banks in these cities, market in this city. We can't actually do the Great Works, so we're going to go straight into a treatise. Keep mining these areas. We'll get an Oxford University next turn, that'll give us a free technology. And we can actually use that to go to industrialization. Now, do we have any coal? We're in the industrial era, but do we have... It would appear we don't have coal. Vatican City does. Mombasa does. It might be worth allying with one of them just to get their coal. Mombasa has 3, Vatican City has 3. I'm going to probably build one of these. Sistine Chapel is actually surprisingly good. It gives you tons and tons of culture. So I might do that. The other ones are like later in the game, so they're going to be less contested. So I'm going to wait on those. Continue upgrading my units. Cannot upgrade you anymore. I can't upgrade the swordsman. I can upgrade you and you. So someone else has gotten into the Renaissance now that we're in the industrial era. I think that if you were this far ahead in a multiplayer game, the other players would just concede to you. You can actually upgrade these crossbowmen again to Gatling guns. That'd be a little bit overkill, but what the heck. Alright. Now we are top of military. So that's good. We're pretty much top on everything except approval, because we don't have that much happiness. Yeah, I'm thinking I might try to ally with Mombasa here, because they'll get their mercantile, or no, they're maritime, so they'll give me extra food if I ally with them. Alright, this is the point where it's starting to kind of break even between planting an academy and doing a free tech. So I'm actually going to just save him. And what I'm saving him for is I'm saving him until after we get research labs. Research labs gives you 50% science. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to save up all the great scientists that I get until after I build this. Then I'm going to wait 5 turns and then pop them all off. Just to get the maximum amount of science out of each one. So we'll put a bank there. Make sure we're not working any crappy tiles. We might actually just work one of these 2 food tiles. Probably not the best decision though. Yeah, our cities are growing too quickly for us to actually use the population efficiently. Which I guess is a good thing. Just lock more of these hills, I guess. Although, probably not worth it. I'm gonna just probably bring this guy back and just have him wait around until later. Spy was promoted. Okay, so we got the Sistine Chapel. There aren't really any buildings I want to build. Don't need to build military because I'm already top, so I'm going to go straight into Taj Mahal. That'll give me happiness, which I'm kind of low on. Okay, so we'll go straight into rationalism and get that. That gives us science per specialist, so now it's going to start becoming more worthwhile to work these kind of other specialist slots like the workshop, because you'll be getting production and science out of them. Also, these guild slots get science out of them too, and the university slots, instead of giving 3 science, they give 5. So we can start doing some pretty crazy things with these specialists. In fact, I might change him to there. Right. You don't want to work these specialists early on because they generate great merchant points. And great merchants use the same pool of great... Every great person you generate makes the cost of subsequent great people more expensive. And scientists, engineers, and merchants use the same pool, and artists, writers, and musicians use the same pool. What that means is that if you generate a great scientist, your next great engineer becomes more expensive. If you generate a great engineer, your next great scientist becomes more expensive. And if you generate a great merchant, your next great scientist will become more expensive. So engineers and scientists are almost always better than merchants. So you want to be generating points toward them instead of merchants. Which is why I'm purposely avoiding working those specialist slots. Okay, we've got scientific there. Now, one thing we can actually do is we can go straight to electricity and then to radio. Radio only requires electricity. All of these other techs in the modern era require 2 techs. This one requires electricity and steam power. This one gets electricity, biology, steam power, electricity, and dynamite and steam power. But radio only requires electricity, so it's the easiest way to get to the modern era. And when you get into the modern era, you can pick your ideology. And once we get there, I'll talk about which one we're probably going to pick. So we're currently breaking even on happiness, which isn't the best. I say that, but we just gotta go to... Okay. Now, we're going to start probably building public schools to get more science. Also give us more specialist slots to put our population in. So we'll start doing that in each city immediately. I think he just converted my city, which isn't very nice. built the Taj Mahal. I wonder if I can go to him and actually say, yeah. What you can actually do if they refuse to, like, send their missionaries somewhere else is you can just surround your city with random units and they won't be able to get adjacent to it. So I can just do something like that. I'm actually going to go straight for the porcelain tower. That'll give me a free great scientist. And you are probably going to stick around like the other worker and just wait for things to improve. So we can keep sending food around. Probably ally with Mombasa now. Just throw 1,000 gold their way. There we go. So when they eventually expand their borders to the coal and improve it, we should get access to it. So here we can just... That should prevent our city from getting religioned. We'll get into the modern era in a couple turns now. Got a great artist. We could actually make a great work of art. That'll give us some culture. Or we can make a golden age. We're already getting a golden age. I'm actually just going to do this. Not for the tourism, but for the culture. Yeah, the AI can be really pestering sometimes. Okay. Now we're going to go probably into Big Bend. Although, no, I'm going to go public school first. Just keep him there. I can actually build Big Ben in the city. That'll give me extra gold, reduce the cost of purchasing. Since we got commerce, it's worth building. Now, normally spamming wonders as much as I am is not a good thing to do. But if you're in such a dominant position, you're this far, you're like an entire era ahead, then there's really nothing stopping you. Especially if you've got top military, which we actually don't anymore, which is slightly worrying considering we have Gatling guns. Okay, so we've got our public school here. I can actually build a zoo. That'll give me happiness. I'm gonna build a zoo. Assign some specialists here. I can actually lock this aluminum tile. Do the same up here. Lock another specialist, probably. Yeah. Over here, probably do the same. Put him in a public school. Maybe even lock that tile. Was that coal? Oh, we do have coal. Alright then. That works. Where are our workers? You go get the coal. You get the aluminum. Alright, over here, I'm just going to build this. It give us some gold. There's nothing really else to build at the moment. Okay, so we're in the modern era. I could build Eiffel Tower, actually. That it gives you 12 tourism, which is good if you're going for tourism victory, but we're not. Great merchant points, but which are actually kind of negative. You don't want them, but at this point in the game, it doesn't actually matter if you generate 1 or 2 great merchants. The main reason I would build this is for the +5 happiness. So I'm going to go for that. And then I'm going to beeline straight for plastics to get the research labs up. So we'll go straight through all of these techs up to plastics. And that will be fantastic. Okay, so we can choose an ideology now. Now, I have very high population cities that are working a lot of specialists, which means I'm probably going to want to go for freedom. Now, autocracy is good for military domination focused civs. If you're going for a domination victory, autocracy is probably the best one. It also has a lot of happiness benefits. It has Prora, it has barracks bonuses, military experience bonuses. A lot of autocracy stuff is geared toward conquering people. Order is great if you have a lot of cities, because basically the order bonuses are per city bonus, whereas freedoms bonuses are per population bonus, essentially, more or less. So what that means is that if you have a few high population cities, freedom is probably better. If you have a ton of low population cities, order is probably better. So I'm going to pick freedom. Now there are a ton of tenets here. Some are good, some are bad. This one's quite good, this one's quite good. This one can be okay, this one's fairly good. The other ones are pretty crap. So I'm going to get civil society. That'll make our specialists consume half the amount of food, which allows the cities to grow faster if they're working lots of specialists, which ours are. And I'm going to get this one, which increases the rate great people are born. Alright, I'm going to put a cut in the video here. We'll continue on next time, pushing toward our research labs and see how far ahead we can get. So, see you there.